Hello and good evening to you. Welcome to News 360 and it's live from a news hub here at this hour. My name is Alfredo Kunsi.
And I am Portia Gabwa. Coming up, the headlines.
News 360 headlines is brought to you by
2 more oil marketing companies cited in contaminated fuel deal.
And also coming up, former Finance Committee of Parliament cited in alleged bribery scandal.
Also, more than 1.5 billion cedis allocated to district assemblies for the year 2017.
We'll go to the Ashanti region where the Asokore-Mampong Municipal Assembly bans post-Eid celebrations following shooting of a 15-year-old boy in the municipality.
And on the foreign front, thousands of Ethiopians still stuck in Saudi Arabia after 90-day amnesty for undocumented migrants expired on Tuesday. We'll bring details of these and more here on News 360 in the next 60 minutes. Stay with us here. To our first story this evening, over 1.5 billion cedis has been allocated to the District Assembly's Common Fund for the year 2017. The amount saw a decrease of about 28%. Parliament has meanwhile adopted the report of the formula for the distribution of the fund.
In 2016, over 2 billion cedis was allocated to the District Assembly's Common Fund, but this year the amount has decreased to over 1 billion cedis. The decline in the allocation, according to the Committee of the Whole report, was mainly due to the Earmarked Funds and Capping Act that reduced the funding rate for the DACF from 7.5% to 5% in 2017. The report indicated, going forward, government priority programs such as the school feeding program and school uniforms program would be borne by their respective ministries. An amount of 257 million cedis was therefore allocated to the Youth Employment Agency, National Youth Authority and NADMO to fund and implement their programs. Over 1 million cedis representing 0.10% had been allocated to cured lepers in the country and over 47 million cedis representing 3% for persons with disabilities. In developing the formula for the District Assembly's Common Fund, the basic needs approach was adopted with health, education, water coverage and third roads coverage considered.
Meanwhile, members of parliament are calling on the education authorities to severely sanction male teachers who impregnate female students to serve as a deterrent. The MPs expressed regret school children as young as 15 years are impregnated by some male teachers.
MP for Commander Edina Eguafo Ebrim, Samuel Mills, said in the Central Region alone, about 5,000 schoolgirls were impregnated by men of various professions in 2016.
When you look at the professions of those who impregnated these children, primary school teachers were 301. Tertiary school teachers, there were 48. Small-scale farmers, there were 986. Large-scale farmers, there were 62. Fishermen, there were 295. Lawyers, 4.
Other MPs said parents could partly be blamed for the menace since most of them refused to provide the basic needs of the children.
If you're a parent and you have money to buy funeral cloth, every now and then we buy new funeral cloths, and your daughter comes to you to get something small for pad, and you cannot give. In a way, you are telling your child to go outside and look for it.
If this is happening, what it also means is that society has failed. Society has failed in taking care of its responsibility. And part of that responsibility is to ensure that children don't give birth to children.
Some called for either dismissal of teachers or severe sanctions for teachers who impregnate such young girls.
Each time a child is impregnated, we have to delve into it, and if it is caused by a teacher, the necessary sanction, we need to pronounce the definite sanctions that has to be applied.
Now, TV3 investigations have revealed 2 more companies involved in the Bost contaminated fuel deal. McWest and Translox have also been cited in the sale of the 5 million litres of contaminated fuel.
According to the National Petroleum Authority, Zoop Oil and Movimpina are both not licensed petroleum service providers. Their activities therefore infringe on Section 11 of the National Petroleum Act, Act 691/2005. The NPA has served notice to take legal action against the 2 companies while it conducts full-scale investigation into the sale of 5 million litres of contaminated fuel to determine the actual quality and quantity of the products allegedly sold by Bost. McWest and Translodges have also been cited in the deal. Executive Secretary of COPEC, Duncan Amoa, says Bost must come clear.
Whatever will make them want to shield the other 2, we also deserve and demand to know. Whatever business that has existed between them and Bost, the public is interested. These companies are not licensed players downstream, but Bost is transacting with them. These are the sort of questions that we need a thorough answer to from the committee's investigations.
Meanwhile, an 8-member investigative ministerial committee has been set up to probe the deal. Energy Minister Boakye Jaako, who made this known, hinted the committee would have to recommend whether or not the managing director of Bost be interdicted should his position interfere with investigations.
The Energy Ministry and the National Petroleum Authority have directed the bulk oil storage and transportation company Bost to suspend further evacuation of the contaminated fuel. Regulator of the downstream petroleum industry, National Petroleum Authority, following preliminary investigations into the issue, says Bost has so far evacuated a total of 471,000 litres of the said product. Civil society and the minority in Parliament are demanding the interdiction of the Managing Director of Bost, Alfred Obim-Boateng, for his role in the sale of the product.
In view of this, the Ministry is in the process of setting up an 8-member investigative committee into the matter.
The Energy Ministry assured the general public it will ensure that quality petroleum products are supplied in the country. The ministerial committee includes stakeholders from across the sector.
The committee will be made up of the following representatives: the National Petroleum Authority, Tema Oil Refinery, Ghana Standards Authority, the Bureau of National Investigations.
The ministry says it expects a total review of the transaction as part of the terms of reference of the ministerial committee.
We have to take it one step at a time and determine whether indeed for the committee to do its work, the acting managing director will be an interference or not. It shouldn't be presupposed. So we will get to that point and make that determination whether he steps aside in the meantime or stays.
The NPA has confirmed Movimpina and Zap Oil, the 2 companies alleged to be involved in the transaction, were not licensed to engage the sector. According to the Energy Ministry, the committee should advise on the necessary technical, administrative and legal actions to be taken.
As soon as they begin work, will be given a maximum of 1 month to submit their report to the ministry.
All right, so what do we know? That this particular committee, the 8-member committee, already has its work cut out, because there's some information out there which is going to guide it through its work. There's a 5-point terms of reference for this committee to work with, including indeed getting into the details of this particular transaction. What we know by the NPA's preliminary investigations is that these 2 companies, that is Movimpina and the Zup's oil do not have the required licensing to get into any activity in the downstream petroleum sector. That is established. But if you look at the membership of this investigative committee that the Energy Ministry has put in place, it's made up of first the National Petroleum Authority, the Tema Oil Refinery. The NPA, we know, has stated its position on this matter already. What they are not able to tell us is whether indeed this product is on the market or not. It's something they're still investigating, but they are also on this matter. The Ghana Standards Authority is on the membership of this particular investigative committee, and the Bureau of National Investigations, BNI, also have a membership there. Also, if you see the last four is the Chamber of Bulk Oil Distributors and the Association of Oil Marketing Companies and the Energy Commission, and finally a representative from the relevant civil society organizations. They make up the 8-member investigative committee that the Energy Ministry has put together or is in the process of establishing to get into the investigations of this particular issue. And so that is what's going to be happening in the next few days ahead of us. Amidst the fears of whether or not this product is on the market, because you and I are unable to detect what we're buying from the pumps.
And as an NPA has also come out with some findings. And we'll see how it tallies with this one.
Precisely.
Let's now go to Zambia, where the first president of that country, Dr. Kenneth Kaunda, has urged President Akufo-Addo to continue to shine the torch of Africa and help deliver the progress and prosperity for the people on the continent. The Pan-Africanist leader said this when President Akufo-Addo paid a courtesy call on him at his residence on the outskirts of Lusaka as part of his 3-day official state visit of the country.
Recollecting the role Ghana played through its first leader, Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, in helping Zambia gain independence from colonial rule, Dr. Kaunda urged all African leaders to emulate this example and be each other's keeper. He urged President Akufo-Addo to work together with other African leaders to solve Africa's problems.
We have collaborated in various fields of human relations. This visit can enable the governments and peoples of Ghana and Zambia to expand and deepen our cooperation in various areas of human endeavor. Your Excellency, continue to shine the torch of Africa.
On his part, President Akufo-Addo explained his presence in Zambia necessitated he calls on Dr. Kaunda because he represents the symbol of the relationship between Zambia and Ghana.
It's extremely important that we continue to understand that we are one. Our circumstances are the same, and we have to continue to work together across these colonial boundaries to ensure that the welfare and progress of our people across the continent are the main considerations for those of us who have been blessed with the privilege of political leadership.
Let's go to the Ashanti region, and the Asokore Mampong Municipal Assembly has banned all post-Eid celebrations following the shooting of a 15-year-old boy in the municipality. Osman Abdul Karim was shot in the head at Bonjour, a popular base in Kumasi, on Tuesday in the week-long celebrations.
15-year-old Osman Abdul Karim, a native of Bokun, was shot at close range on Tuesday night at Bonjour, a popular base in Kumasi. He had joined his friends to celebrate the Eid when an armed gang pounced on him. The cause of the shooting has been linked to robbery, but the police is yet to confirm. The Menchia Divisional Police Commander, Chief Superintendent Kweku Boa, said the incident happened at the blind sight of the police.
This was a right-by shooting. It's people on motorbike shooting at that boy. This is one information we've had. To see those who shot is very difficult.
The Asokore Mampong Municipal Chief Executive Alhaji Ali Duseidu says all activities relating to the post-Eid celebrations in the municipality would be cancelled.
Currently, I'm meeting the Municipal Security Council as a body. We want to take an action to this. I will table before them a proposal of either temporarily banning all celebrations in connection with the Eid for now, so that we take it from there.
Some concerns have been raised over the safety of Bonjour, which also serves as a fuel station. Osman is currently receiving treatment at the Konfanochi Teaching Hospital in Kumasi.
In other news, the Deputy Director of Communications for the Ghana Hajj Board, Zach Rahman, has cautioned pilgrims seeking to embark on this year's Hajj against agents who pose as representatives of the Ghana Hajj Board. According to him, the board is collaborating with security agencies in apprehending imposters who are duping prospective pilgrims by collecting a lower fee.
The organization of Hajj pilgrimages has been fraught with several challenges. According to the Ghana Hajj Board, 450 pilgrims who made full payment towards the Hajj last year were left stranded at the Hajj village due to improper documentations and inadequate flight arrangement. The Deputy Director of Communications for the Hajj Board, Zach Rahman, implored pilgrims to be mindful of unauthorized agent who claim to be acting on behalf of the board.
We've also heard a lot about fake agents going around telling people that they should come and pay 10,000 cedis or 9,000 cedis or 11,000 or whatever, that they're going to assist them get a cheaper ticket. There is nothing of that sort.
He also urged those seeking to embark on this year's pilgrimage to make their payment before the June 30 deadline.
The amount is 15,000 Ghana cedis or $3,450. You can go to any Unibank Ask of Ghana Hajj Board account. They would give you the account details. You make payments. You come with your passport and 12 passport pictures to the Hajj village, which is at airport, and then we would take you through the process that you're supposed to go.
6,200 pilgrims were expected to embark on this year's Hajj.
Well, the weather tonight and through to tomorrow morning, the northern half of the country will be cloudy tonight with isolated cases of thunderstorms and rain over the upper west region. The middle and coastal sectors will, however, be partly cloudy tonight with isolated cases of thunderstorms and rain, mostly over places in the eastern Ashanti and the Bonahavu regions. The night will be relatively cool over the entire country. Early morning mist or fog patches are expected over mountainous and forested areas as well as the coast with early morning cloudiness. So all of that things being cold, the weather is going to be cold tonight.
Yes, and it's going to be a good night.
Well.
Yes. You're still watching News 360 from the News Hub. We have more news coming up shortly. Do stay with us.
Well, so it's still News 360, but time for business. My name is Nanekia Mensah-Brampa. Starting with tonight, the producer price inflation for May 2017 is 3.7%, and it is down from the 4.4% that was recorded in April, representing a 0.7% decline. Now, according to the Deputy Government Statistician in charge of operations, Anthony Amuzu, the decline is as a result of a base drift effect in the textiles industry and a decrease in prices of petroleum products.
There was a decrease in the manufacture of textiles from 4.6% in April 2017 to 2.1% in May 2017. And this one was as a result of a base drift effect. If you take the petroleum sector, the subsector, for example, there was a decrease from negative 1.2% in April 2017 to negative 4.5% in May 2017. And this was as a result of decreases in the prices of petroleum products. And this sector contributes about 23% of the weight for the manufacturing subsector. And these two subsectors contributed to that decline in the manufacturing sector.
We'll be having more of this in our subsequent bulletins. But away from that, the U.S. ambassador to Ghana, Robert Jackson, wants government to take advantage of the trade facilitation agreement to make Ghana the trade gateway of Africa. Now, the ambassador made the call at the launch of the Cost of Trading in Ghana, a new study on the impact of trade-related fees and charges.
Ghana became the 95th country last year to ratify the Trade Facilitation Agreement. The agreement, which came into force in February this year, contains provisions for expediting the movement, release and clearance of goods. It also set out measures for effective cooperation between customs and other appropriate authorities on trade facilitation and customs compliance issues. Ghana undertook the study as part of its efforts to comply with benchmark guidelines outlined in the agreement.
When you add up 250 or 300 cities or even 125 cities, for each time someone imports or exports something, you're talking about a huge drain on revenue. That money could better be used to import additional goods, create additional trade, and grow the economy.
Ambassador Jackson said the implementation of the Trade Facilitation Agreement would foster increased economic growth in Ghana.
But it's all about making Ghana's port and airport more competitive. And we have been pushing very hard to facilitate trade from other countries to Ghana and from Ghana to other countries.
The Director of Trade Policy at the Ministry of Finance, Anthony Drasa, said the government will delve into the study and make the necessary changes.
There are transit fees. There's something custom charges. It could be nuisance, which you must think through, because now the Trade Facilitation Agreement says that we must not charge those things. So these are things government will take decisions on. Because if the whole world has agreed that if goods pass through your country, so like a good is going to Burkina Faso, which is landlord, Mali, which is landlord, and the Trade Facilitation Agreement says that don't charge your neighbor these fees, then Ghana must obey.
The Organization for Economic Cooperation and Development estimates that implementing the TFA could reduce worldwide trade costs by as much as 17.5%, with the greatest benefits accruing to developing countries.
And Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta has hinted of an upcoming diasporan bond to be structured by July this year. The bond issuance is to increase capacity to get capital while engaging Ghanaians in the diaspora. The Finance Minister was speaking when GCB Bank presented a dividend of 21.5 million Ghana cedis to the ministry. This amount represents dividend for 21.4% of government's holding of GCB Bank. Finance Minister Ken Oforiatta, receiving the check, said the banking sector requires some strengthening to transform the economy.
Sometimes one feels like we have too many small banks, which will not have the kind of impact we want. Likely, we'll be looking to increase the capital requirements, and we hope that will lead to some sensible measures to create banks of size to be able to take the economy where we want it to go.
He encouraged banks to give more attention to remittances as the economy stands to benefit.
We always talk about, $3 to $5 billion worth of remittances coming, but it's so atomized. We haven't figured out a way in which we really can make sure we aggregate it and then do something with it and create a product. So I think we need to look at that. We are thinking of a diaspora bond, which we should be restructuring soon to require an ability for people out there to be able to get to you to participate in that.
All right, I'll be getting you more on that one, talking about the diaspora bond, how much exactly it would be and what it intends to do. But away from that, Suzuki Motor Corporation has opened a showroom in Accra. The showroom will exhibit the three main products of the Japanese manufacturer.
Suzuki Motor Corporation aims at offering a large range of affordable and robust vehicles to customers. As a result, the brand provides modern equipment for comfort and safety of drivers and passengers. The newly Suzuki outlet, the first of its kind in West Africa, is dedicated towards the exhibition of the three main products of the Japanese manufacturer, including automobiles, motorcycles and marine.
This new partnership between Suzuki Motors and CFAO Ghana provides a new automobile experience to the Ghanaian customers. The Suzuki products perfectly suits the Ghanaian market with a range of reliable and affordable products which represent the best value for money. The Suzuki know-how in manufacturing of products dedicated to the emerging markets, combined with the CFAO expertise in automobile sales and after-sales in Ghana, is the key to success.
CFAO Group, a major specialized distributor of brands in Africa, has declared its commitment to promoting Suzuki motors.
22 countries, and still with the group's strong will to continue this development in other major markets. Suzuki had a very robust range of great reliability, adapted to Africa and which correspond to the needs of our customers. Sedans and SUVs perfectly sized for urban use, like the rest of the range of commercial vehicles.
Suzuki shares with CFAO the vision towards addressing the needs of the emerging middle class in Africa, especially in Ghana.
All right, so there are more business updates on our website. It's 3news.com. My name is Nanikia Mensah-Brampe. Alfred is standing by. I understand there's some latest issue coming up talking about corruption against the Finance Committee, Select Committee in Parliament. Alfred. Thank you,
Nanekia. I'm grateful. There are many who say that we shouldn't even waste our time getting into this because the conclusion of it is already known. But the immediate past members of Parliament's Finance Committee have been cited in an alleged bribery scandal. As you can see on your screen, the National Lottery Authority is reported to have spent 150,000 cedis to facilitate the passage of the National Lottery Act in 2016 in allowances to members of the Select Committee on Finance after it organized a workshop for them on amendments to the new Lottery Law Act 722. The decision to receive the money has raised questions about the propriety of Parliament receiving money for work for which MPs already draw salaries from the state coffers for.
And away from Parliament, danger looms at the Adenta Community Basic School in Accra as its school block has developed cracks. The building is yet to be renovated despite several appeals from the school's management.
More than 1,000 pupils are enrolled at the Adenta Community Basic School, established by the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT. It was, however, handed over to the Ghana Education Service in 1995. The one-story building accommodates the primary and junior high schools. The headmistress of the school, Florence Koshito, who declined to speak on camera, lamented several letters written to Adenta Municipal Assembly have yielded no results. She also blamed the current situation on overcrowding, as the school now accommodates twice the number of pupils required to occupy the building. The situation has also forced the junior high school to be relocated at the Frafraha Senior High School. Ventilation is also poor and could affect the sight of pupils and teachers. Attempts to get a response from the Adenta Municipal Assembly proved futile, as both the Municipal Chief Executive and the Coordinating Director were out on official assignment. We gathered a meeting with stakeholders is likely to come off this Friday, June 30.
Well, owners of Jefamco Abattoir at Medina Estates have begun clearing the debris from the slaughterhouse, which caused discomfort for residents. This comes 3 days after TV3's report.
General Manager of the abattoir, Kingsley Davis Ankoma, explained the stench was as a result of a breakdown in one of the factory's machines.
We had problem on the biogas, and that brought the problem to us. But now, as you can see, we are working on it.
One of the residents in the area, Tijani Mahama, was elated steps had been taken to solve the problem.
So far, I've seen some improvements, actually. The smell is down now. But, if they can keep on doing it, then there's no problem.
The La in Kwantanan Madina Municipal Assembly, which had earlier cautioned the company, says it has dispatched officers to the site.
And normally what we do is that when there are nuisances in any place within the municipality, we go there, we explain the public health implications regarding the nuisance, and then we ensure that the nuisances are abated. As I speak now, he has actually abated the nuisance. So once he said he has abated, I have asked the field officers to go and check.
We have sports news coming up shortly with Thierry Nyan.
Hi, good evening, and it's time to bring you all the latest news in the world of sports with me, Thierry Nyan. This is News 360. Now we start off with the Ghana Premier League. As you can see behind me, these were the results of match day 20. Now another match day, exciting results all through the games across the league centres. Wafa left it late, but that goal was decisive for them as it kept them on top of the Ghana Premier League table for another weekend. That particular game was against the Elmina Sharks, but the Ghana Stars, who are also battling for the title this season, also put one past Accra Great Olympics at the Domar Park to further sink the Dade boys into relegation abyss. In Cape Coast, Baba John Mahama was the hero of the day, but the Porcupine Warriors, for the Porcupine Warriors actually, but his goal made sure Kumasi Asante Kotoko stayed just 1 point behind rivals Accra Hearts of Oak, who lost at home to Ashanti Gold. The Obuase side have climbed out of the relegation zone for the first time this term and are looking to change their fortunes as quickly as possible. Those are some of the notable results. Other results include the likes of Liberty Professionals thrashing Bolga All-Stars, bottom placed by 3-0. Mediama and Brekum Chelsea's game was postponed, and while All-Stars, the league champions, also joined 1-1 with Tema U. So these were the results of the match day. The table is right behind me. Wafa still lead this particular Ghana Premier League standings with 40 points after 20 games after their win over Elmina Sharks. Ghana Stars are tightly following them, and they have 37 points, 3 points separating the two sides. Hearts of Oak, after that defeat to Ashanti Gold, a resurgent Ashanti Gold, they are still third, but now just 1 point above their arch rivals, Kumasi Asante Kotoko. Kotoko now firmly in the top 4 places of the Ghana Premier League. This is exactly how the top half of the table looks like. But for the bottom half, the key thing is that Ashanti Gold keep climbing. They just will not relent, and now they are 13th with 25 points, same points as Wild All Stars. Would you believe it? After winning the league last season, they are not playing too well, and the results have not exactly gone their favor. Mediama Sporting Club do have a game in hand. Should they win, they would get into the top half of the table. But the relegation zone looks like this. Elmina Sharks, Great Olympics, and Bolga All Stars are those who may be getting back to the Division 2. But we still move on, and we do some more news as it stands. Now we pick some reactions from the camp of Ash Gold and Hearts of Oak after that particular game at the Accra Sports Stadium. Ashanti Gold winning by a goal to nil.
We knew exactly what Hearts of Oak are capable of doing, and so strategically we planned. We needed to frustrate them. We did that. We needed to possess the ball. We did that, and we scored. I'm very, very happy. Thank God for this performance. It was a wonderful performance. I think another step forward. Last week we played well. I thought it was a good game, but for them to have performed here today, fantastic. I'm so proud of them, and we're good to go.
I think we reacted well to a setback in the first half. We continued to fight until the very end of the game. Of course, we're disappointed to lose the 3 points, but with the fighting spirit that we have in our group, despite the naysayers and the negative people, then we'll keep fighting.
All right, so that's exactly what the coaches said, Frank Natal and C.K. Akono, coaches of Hearts of Oak and Ashanti Gold, respectively. Now, the Black Stars of Ghana will be taking on Mexico in what will be Kwesi Appiah's first friendly game since returning to the Black Stars job. The match is at 1 a.m. Ghana time, and Appiah says he has a full and fit squad ready for the game against a fairly local Mexican side. Michael Otieje is with the team in Houston, Texas, and filed this particular one in.
First of all, Jonathan, you are a lot more used to this thing, but you didn't play in the last one. What's your objective going into this one?
It will be a good game because Mexico is a great team. We just going to take the game very serious and just do our best.
Mohamed, what does it feel like for you to come back into the team?
Yeah, it's a great honor, to be back to the Black Stars. It has been a while, because since 2012, and so I was really working hard, and I'm really happy, to be back there. So my goal is, to make sure that I give out my everything to make sure that I'm always in the team.
And Jonathan, you didn't play in the last one. Do you feel like this is your chance to reinforce your status and your place in the team?
My status is always going to be the same as a Black Star player, and always glad and blessed to be part of this team. Because whether you play, whether you don't play, you're on the bench, you're home, you're still going to support the team. So it's always glad to just wear the national colors.
Many football academies in the country run on all-boys system, giving opportunities only to the male footballers to land big-time contracts overseas. But there is a huge wind of change blowing across a system because of the Right to Dream Academy is giving equal opportunities to girls in a quest to help them become the best on the field and also in the classroom.
At the Right to Dream Academy, training girls to be good footballers is held in high esteem, just as is done with the boys. The academy started a girls' session more than 5 years ago to provide players for the female national teams and also to make the sport a bit more appealing to them. Over the years, the academy has produced talents who have fulfilled this dream. Notable amongst them is the youngest ever female player to represent Ghana, Fuseina Mumuni. Many of the girls at the academy look up to her and want to reach the heights she has been able to attain. Students of the academy, Patience Kum and Vivian Achim, who will both make their first visits to Europe this weekend, say it's an opportunity they will relish.
It's going to be our first tour to Denmark for the girls. My goal that I set for myself was to be able to do the same as the boys are doing, go and work hard, do our best, and then bring the cup back to Ghana as the boys have been doing. And then I'm hoping that since it's our first time, we'll be able to take the opportunity and then go and learn new experience from there so that we can use it to improve on ourselves.
I feel a bit nervous in those times, but still I have to be able to adapt to it because I went to the US and I played with the girls there. Since I was able to adapt to that environment and the weather and the food as well, I think when I'm able to go there to the Europe, I'll be able to adapt to it.
All right, now we go straight to England, and Manchester City targets Dani Alves has left Serie A champions Juventus after one season in Italy. The 34-year-old Brazilian right-back confirmed his departure via his Instagram account. He said today his professional relationship ends, and he is going to be carrying with him all of those who loved and who truly had a heart and had Juventus and made Juventus a great team. Manchester City have been linked with a move for Dani Alves, with Juventus saying they would release him from his contract. His final game for Juve was the 4-1 Champions League final defeat by Real Madrid in Cardiff. Alves made 33 appearances as the club sealed the domestic double for the third consecutive year. Still in football, currently ongoing, the FIFA Confederations Cup is a game between Cristiano Ronaldo and Alexis Sanchez. No, I'm not talking about Real Madrid and Arsenal. I'm talking about Portugal, the European champions, and the South American champions, Chile. But currently, even though they have the superstar wealth of talent in their ranks, the game is still locked at 0-0. Bring you all updates of the FIFA Confederations Cup later tomorrow, and also a preview to that particular semi-final game between Germany and Mexico. I'm out, and there's the sports news.
Well, Ghana's most beautiful season 10 winner has paid a courtesy call on former President John Agyekum Kufuor as part of activities towards her breast cancer campaign launch. The past beauty queen will begin her campaign with an SHS tour in 6 second cycle schools in the Western region.
Ghana's most beautiful.
So I chose a project about breast cancer. Yes, and I'm launching it today. So I came again so that as a living legend, you would give me advice on how to go about things. Because sometimes it may seem right, but at the end of the day, you go wrong.
I'm impressed with your choice of project to impact the community, to fight breast cancer in our community. This disease is troubling our women folk, and naturally whatever we can do to support the cause of fighting the disease, I think we all have to join hands to do.
Let's now go to the Central Region, where Regional Minister Kwame Duncan has suggested the institution of an annual brass band festival in the region. He was speaking at the launch of a national brass band competition at Agunas Radio in the Central Region.
The National Brass Band competition was mooted by the Ghana 60 Years On Committee, and it aims at reviving the brass band tradition in the country. The Central Regional Minister Kwame Duncan noted the institution of a brass band festival in the region would revive the rivalry between the various groups. The Aguna West MCE, Justina Asan, and the chief of Aguna Nyakrum, Okofu Katechi Nyakweku, reminisced the glory days of brass band. Chairman of the Ghana 60 Years On Committee, Ken Amankwa, is hopeful the competition would help revive the music industry.
Our objective is to revive and retool all brass bands in this country. Every region will have to produce its own, very iconic, brass band. And at the end of it all, the brass band which wins every region will be given a brand new brass band instrument.
When you go to Agona Kwenyako, the Agona Kwenyako brass band is one of the best. I can attest to that one. But away from that, the Nollywood actress Tonto Dike is in the news again. The award-winning actress' marriage to Olakunle Churchill has been dissolved traditionally. Tonto and Olakunle got married in 2015. Earlier this week, a video of Tonto's family returning the bride price paid during their marriage to the Churchill family surfaced. The gesture signifies that the traditional marriage between their children has been annulled, ending the union which was blessed with a son. Oh, well, I I grew up in Agona Kwenyako, so I know what I'm talking about. You see, the brass band is nice.
That's not what you wanted to say anyway. That's it for News 360. Thanks so much for your company. I am Portia Gabo.
My name is Alfred Kansa. Remember, Do Not Love Me So Much comes up next, and News at 10 will be simulcast on 3FM. Have a good evening.